All right, whenever you're ready.
Alright, the other day I was flipping through the channels on the television and I stumbled across a car auction. As I was about to change the channel, all of a sudden this cherry Chevy 1955 rolls out. Custom paint job, custom interior, a big block engine with a new transmission was dropped in. The thing had so much horsepower it would probably burn its tires out in a matter of seconds. This idiot spends $350,000 on this car. $350,000. You can buy like 5 acres of land in Montana for that much. But I didn't criticize the U.S. Defense Department when they spent $35 billion on 17 aircraft. Now, the U.S. Defense Department back in February signed a contract with Boeing, the aerospace giant that we're all familiar with, for 17 new air tankers by the year 2017. They have to roll the first one out by 2015. All of this for $35 billion. Who would spend that much money on 17 aircraft? Well, we will, of course, because we have the money. But it's not all in vain. The contract is going to go towards supporting our economy. The air tankers themselves are going to help our national defense. And the whole entire thing is going to help you and I. This leads me to my first point, national defense. Now these air tankers, you can see them as pretty much flying gas stations. What they do is help refuel other aircraft of war. During combat, the aircraft of war are flying protection and support for our ground forces. Our ground forces are fighting enemies who are in bunkers, in caves in the hills, in buildings that are impossible to get to or even to shoot the enemies out of. So these aircraft come in and they take out these buildings or wherever they're hiding. But they can't stay in the air indefinitely, and they have to have a certain amount of time to get to these enemies. But the ground forces can't always pinpoint who they're going for. And in today's society, we have to have confirmation of where these guys are in order to shoot them down. We can't just go through and kill whoever we want. And these aircraft need fuel. This is what the air tankers are going to provide. They're going to fly support for these aircraft of war. They're going to be up there circling around, waiting for whoever needs a full gas tank. I would love that in my truck if I had someone wait for me to roll up to it, I could fill up. But they're not only just gas stations in the air. Boeing released a statement when they signed this contract, talking about their new aircraft that they're going to build for the United States. The new Boeing air tankers can do much more than mid-air refueling. They're also configured to carry freight, passengers, or both at the same time, along with maintaining its take-off capability. This proves a multi-role, multi-purpose vehicle, which the government, the United States, needs. We can't have a single vehicle doing one job. We need to have multiple roles. So this air tanker can not only just refuel the aircraft, but it can deliver people, supplies to the front lines. It can deliver everything we need to anywhere we need it. But not all of us agree with war. Some of us actually oppose war. Albert Einstein opposed war. So the air tankers come in here as well. Air tankers can fuel peacetime aircraft as well. General Ralph E. Eberhart, the United States Air Force Commander-in-Chief, reported to the House of Representatives on March 13, 2003 that NORAD defends North America from domestic air threats through Operation Noble Eagle. Across the United States and Canada, armed fighters are on alert and flying irregular combat air patrols to identify and intercept suspect aircraft. Now this is very important, especially since September 11, 2001. As we all know, 2 jumbo jets were flown into the Twin Towers, a 3rd into the Pentagon, and a 4th that crashed into an empty field. Now, ever since then, we've all been more cautious, even the government themselves. They've set up new laws and everything protecting us. Operation Noble Eagle is one of these things that the government set up. They have these wartime aircraft flying peaceful patrols. They're protecting you, me, everybody. They're flying across the Canadian border, across the Mexican border, international waters. But yet again, these aircraft are limited in range because of their fuel capability. And the time that they spend in the air is more time that they protect us. This is where the air tankers come in to play again. They fuel these aircraft that are patrolling our land, our safety, and keeping us even more safe. The aircraft, once again, just fly up to the air tanker, refuel, and it's done. It's all over with. This contract is even more important because of its economic boost that it's going to give to our country. Everybody wants a job nowadays. There's people who were once CEOs taking jobs as janitors. Molly McMillan, writer for the Wichita Eagle, reports that the new Boeing contract will support 50,000 U.S. jobs. 7,500 of those in Kansas alone. Now, 50,000 U.S. jobs. You think about that across 50 states, that's an average of 1,000 jobs per state. Doesn't seem that big, does it? But if you think about it this way, these 50,000 jobs are going to create a subsequent hundreds of thousands of jobs. These people working for Boeing are going to need food, housing, teaching for their kids. They're going to need all these amenities, entertainment. Their kids are going to go to Disneyland. The adults, they want to go to Disneyland for adults, wherever that may be. It's up to them. But they're going to need all these things that other people are going to have to supply. So the 50,000 jobs are going to create even more jobs by themselves. Not only will Kansas benefit, but all the states will benefit. Kevin Gord, an IT manager for Boeing, states, Boeing's Defense Department is located here in Southern California. Arizona and Alabama is where most of the manufacturing is done. And in addition to this, Boeing has some 800 subcontractors in 40 some odd states. So, 800 subcontractors, 40 states. They have manufacturing in Arizona, Alabama, and engineering here in California. Now, as you can see, the whole entire United States is going to benefit from this. The 50,000 jobs are going to be spread across the whole United States. And that demand that these 50,000 jobs are going to create are going to be spread out in the rest of the United States. However, not many people agree with the contract because, like I said, it's $35 billion. Who's going to spend $35 billion on 17 aircraft? People blame Boeing for profit hunting. AllGov, a website reporting news on the government activity, states that for the years 2006 to 2008, Boeing earned a pre-tax profit of $9.7 billion, but had a net refund of $75 million. Who refunds a company who made $9.7 billion? I wouldn't refund them. I only got $80 off of my refund, and I mean, I believe me, I thought I deserved a lot more. And I'm sure some of you thought the same thing when you got your refund checks from the IRS, or you're expecting it. Now, like I said earlier, Boeing is here for us, and the government is here to protect us from Boeing as well. The government dictates what Boeing's profit is going to be off this $35 billion. They're not going to take this $35 billion, stick it in their pocket, and go, here's some planes. No. The $35 billion is mainly going to go to research and development, cost of productions, and all the other things that are involved in this. Boeing doesn't get to choose how much they're getting out of this profit. The government's telling them what they're getting. This is very important. But most importantly is people think that this contract is unnecessary, especially since it's $35 billion when our national debt is $7 trillion. Fernando Santos writes in the New York Times, if worse comes to worse, 4,675 teachers are going to be laid off in New York City alone. 4,675. Now, with some simple algebra, the Boeing contract could keep these teachers employed for 160 years. Now, that's an incredible long time to keep a couple teachers employed. But, like I said earlier, this Boeing contract is going to keep 50,000 people employed, and it's going to create hundreds of thousands of other jobs. Now, to summarize my speech, this contract is going to create an economic boost. It's going to support national defense, and it's going to support you and me directly, even though we don't see it. And I hope you understand, and I hope you keep this in mind when other contracts come into play that are worth a lot of money. Thank you.
I'm sorry if